Well, so Mr. Lawrence, for the members of our school community who may not know, can you tell us a bit more about who your brother Stephen was and what happened in 1993?
Sure. So my brother Stephen was killed in a racist attack in Eltham. He was coming home from visiting my uncle, waiting for a bus, and yeah, six gentlemen, white gentlemen, stabbed him, and he died at the spot. And from that point where we felt as a family that we tried to do our bit to try and help them. So I went to school the next day. You know, there were people in my school community that knew what happened and who these people were. We gave that information to the police in the hope that they would.
How do you think that things have changed in London for those of my generation?
I always say to people, London's quite an isolated bubble. I think it wouldn't have experienced, your experience and my experience won't be that different. You know, until that point in '93, I never knew that I was different because of skin colour. Like I never really sat down and really was like, oh my goodness, like, are there going to be people who look at me because I'm black differently and treat me? I never had that moment until I lost my brother. And then when I had that moment, it would have been so easy for me to say, all white people, because how do we pick them out? How do we know? I quickly realised that it's people, and you value people and you recognise good people and bad people on interactions with them. And it's only until I have that interaction where I can work out whether you're a good egg or a bad egg. And I shouldn't assume, because again, this is what happens. People make assumptions. People play things out ahead of themselves of, you must look like this because you're wearing this, therefore you must be that person. And I think that's where we just need to get back to, which I said, miscommunication is the essence of most problems in life. Can we have a common ground? Can you speak to me? Can you ask me questions? And in that, can we learn and be better people together?
Moving on, in October we will be celebrating Black History Month,
Yep.
and obviously that's quite an important month for black people. And what are your views on this month? Because I think there's a varying views. Some people think we should be celebrating Black history all throughout the year. So do you think it's okay for us to just specify that this month is specifically for Black history?
Yeah, I do think it's okay. And I don't think it's just for black people it's an important month. I think it's for everyone it's an important month. Because it's about our contributions, isn't it? If the story and the narrative is only of the victors and not of the persecuted, then how do we know how it felt to be persecuted?
Do you think or have any recommendations for media, like books or films, that we could use as a community in order to access Black history?
Definitely. One of my favourite films to talk about is Judas and the Black Messiah by Daniel Kaluuya, which is about Deputy Chairman Fred and the Black Panther movement in America. The Small Axe series by Alexander McQueen is a great series to have another insight into black culture. Books to read, Nove Reid's book, No Longer Talking to White People About Race, is a good book. The single story narrative, the TED Talk, that's a great one as well. There's loads of stuff out there. We all just need to be curious of mind. The more that we could take away the blinkers and 360 head on swivel, what else is around there, what else I need to absorb, then we all become better people.
I always think of people I've come from Nigeria, my dad's from Nigeria. Should we be also focusing where the majority of black people actually are, which is, well, for me, would be West Africa?
Yeah.
Should we also be focusing on history around those areas?
100%. It's all important, isn't it, as well? And that's the point I keep on saying to people. We may be minorities in this country, but we're majorities globally. We are, and there's strength and power to know that you're one of many. That gives someone a sense of ownership and power. So yes, understanding and knowing all of our history from the very beginning.
Well, a final question. If you were going to leave the King's community with one piece of advice, what would it be and why?
Oh, wow. So, the King's community, that's it's a hard one just to leave you with one thing, but I definitely would say to you what I've realised recently is Aristotle's quote about educating people's heads without educating people's hearts is no education at all. Because that's what this is. It's not just about the things that we can read in books or the exam papers that we can take. These environments is about the interactions we have with different people from different walks of life and then how they make us rich as people. So one thing I definitely would say is just leading to someone that may look or feel a bit different than you, that may have come from a different walk of life than you, and what value can they bring to you, because I'm sure they'll add to you more than they will take away from you. That's what I definitely would say. So to be open to everyone, and to be open to all your new experiences, and just be a good vessel for good change.
Well, thank you very much, Mr.
No.
Lawrence. It's been very nice to talk
No,
to you.
thank you very much,
Thank
Sam.
you.
Thank you.